Hello, hello. Welcome to English Extras. My name is Jean. If you're here, it's because you don't want to sound like a textbook. You're in the right place. This podcast is to help intermediate and advanced learners find alternatives to textbook English so you can express yourself authentically. Let's begin. In the previous episode, we talked about ways to say hello and how are you? So in this episode, let's talk about different ways to say goodbye. Your textbook most likely teaches you these two ways, goodbye and bye. But there are a ton of different ways to end a conversation, and we use different types of goodbyes for different contexts. Just a quick note before we get started. In this episode, I will use goodbye and farewell interchangeably. Both refer to the phrase said to end a conversation. Let's start with spoken conversations face-to-face, like you've met your friend for coffee and now it's time to leave. Here are some of your options. Number 1. Like many things you'll find in your textbooks or courses, goodbye isn't a terrible option. However, in general, native speakers are more likely to shorten it to simply say bye. The full version of goodbye sounds a bit formal for most contexts, and if said in an informal context, it can actually sound abrupt, which you don't want if you're speaking to your friends. Also, keep in mind the tone. Bye is a short word. However, if you say it too quickly, it might seem abrupt the same way goodbye would. Often we lengthen the word to soften it and make it seem friendlier. For example, if my friends and I are parting ways, we would say, bye. Number 2, bye-bye. This isn't my personal favorite. I usually use this when I am on the phone with a stranger. However, plenty of people use this as their standard goodbye. For example, this is what my dad says when we end a conversation on the phone. A quick note about the pronunciation. You can say each word individually like this, bye-bye. However, you can also change the first bye to sound like buh. So it could sound like this, bye-bye, bye-bye. Number 3, bye for now. This farewell means that you will likely speak to this person again in the future, so it isn't best suited for conversations with strangers or people you won't see again in the future. Listen closely to the pronunciation. For will change to more like a fur sound when said together. Bye for now. Bye for now. Bye for now. Number 4, see ya. This one is very common among friends. It's an informal phrase for informal contexts. Note that the U becomes a ya sound. See ya. See ya. There are several variations of this phrase. You can say, see you later, if you will, in fact, see that person in the future. You can also say, see you next time. This is what I say to my students at the end of a class because I don't always know the exact time I will see them again, but I know I will see them at some point in the future. Pay attention to the way the last sound of next joins the first sound of time. We don't usually pronounce each of these sounds individually, meaning we don't say next time, but rather next time. So the final T sound of next gets absorbed into the T sound of time. Once more, next time. Next time. One more variation is catch you later. The U does its thing and changes to a ya. This has the same meaning as see you later. This can be said in spoken conversation or when texting someone. Number 5, talk to you later. This one is best for phone conversations. Again, notice that the you changes to a ya sound. Talk to ya later. In this expression, we don't usually say the full sound of to. We don't usually say talk to you later. Instead, we change to into ta. Listen closely. Talk to ya later. Talk to you later. This change happens often with to. With the phrase talk to you later, there is a variant we use for texting someone. If you want to end a conversation with someone via texting, you can type TTYL. Some people, in fact, say this in spoken conversations if it is their personal style. Number 6. This one is my favorite. Take care. Did you notice the k sound? It's just like what happens with the t sound in see you next time. The k in take combines with the k sound in care. We don't say take care. Listen closely and see if you can hear it. Take care. Take care. Take care. This is usually said in spoken conversations, but can also be said via texting. It functions the same way as bye, but you can also combine this with other farewells. In fact, combining different farewells is fairly common. For example, if I invited my friends to have dinner at my house and dinner is over and it's time for everyone to leave, I can wave and say, "See you later, everyone. Take care." If someone is leaving your house, you can also say, "Drive safe," or simply, "Be safe." This is something I say to my husband when he goes to work in the morning. Every morning, I say, "Have a good day. Be safe." Now, there are some funnier ways to say goodbye, but that depends on your personal style. For example, you might hear someone say, "Toodles, toodles, toodles." If I'm feeling silly and fun, I sometimes say this. There's also some unique ways to say goodbye to children. You might have heard someone say, "See you later, alligator." This is typically said to children because it's so silly. The alligator, which is an animal similar to a crocodile found in the southern US and parts of South America, doesn't have a meaning in this expression. It is simply there because it rhymes. A rhyme, by the way, is when two words share the same ending sound. Here, the words later and gator rhyme, even though they are spelled differently. You might hear the other popular rhyming goodbye, which goes, "In a while, crocodile." While it might seem like English has an obsession with semi-aquatic animals, I think English actually just has an obsession with rhyming. Another way you might hear someone say goodbye is, in fact, in another language. English is a sponge. It steals liberally from other languages, especially Romance languages such as French, Spanish, and Italian. So you might hear someone playfully say au revoir, or auf Wiedersehen, or ciao, or adios. And of course, all said with American accents that might make native speakers of those languages cringe. Well, there you have it. In this episode, we talked about different ways to say goodbye in a variety of contexts, from the formal goodbye to the silly toodles. You now have some options to choose from when ending your next conversation in English. Thank you so much for listening. If you have any questions, feel free to message me on Instagram. Until next time, see you later, alligator.